Hi Sunday School kids. We are back again this week on February 20th with another craft about Ruth and Naomi. If you have not listened to the story, stop now and go listen to Mrs. Hart's story. Now again, our craft this week is from the SundaySchoolZone.com. If you've listened to the story, you know that Ruth and Naomi were in trouble. Back then it was a very different culture than we have today. And if you were a woman alone and didn't have any sons or husband or father to help take care of you, very often you didn't have any food. That's pretty scary, isn't it? But remember, what was our craft last week? God has a plan for you. And He had a plan for Ruth and Naomi. And this week we're meeting someone new in the story, Boaz. Boaz owns many fields, and he is a very kind man, and he lets Ruth and Naomi glean wheat or grain, I'm not sure if it was wheat, but grain, from the field so they don't starve. Now, what we're going to do is make a basket and grain, and you can pretend to reenact the story of Ruth and Naomi and Boaz. All right, the first things that are in our packet are your 2 pieces of a paper plate, and this is going to be our grain. You're going to need a scissors and a marker or a crayon or a pencil, whatever you'd like to use, and maybe some crayons if you'd like. And here's the hard part. You're going to need either a glue gun or a stapler, or maybe you could even use tape if you needed to. Okay, now glue gun. Please, please, please have an adult help you with this. A glue gun, you can get burned badly, so have an adult help you with the glue gun if you choose to use that. Now the first thing we're going to do is to cut out all our little pieces of grain. Alright, now I've already done that. This one's yellow. You might get an orange one. Mine were orange. Now the next thing you're going to do is take your marker, and we're going to, it looks like this, we're going to make it look a little bit more like a grain. So we're going to draw a line down the middle, and then we're going to make little diagonal lines on the sides. It almost looks like a leaf, doesn't it? Alright? If you wanted to, this could have been done before you cut it out. It's totally up to you. Whatever you feel is easiest. For me, it's just easier to do it this way. Just a few lines to make it look like grains of wheat, I'm going to call it. Okay, now we have our grain. You can put them all in the pile. Now we're going to make our basket so that we can gather the grain. Now, what we're going to do, you'll notice a basket looks like it has lines in it sometimes. So we're going to make some diagonal lines. By diagonal, this is what I mean. And we're going to make them all the way across. Whoops. It's a little bumpy. So it looks like this. Now we're going to make lines the opposite way. Okay? So that it looks like a basket that's woven. Maybe Mom, Grandma has a basket that you've seen. Alright? We're going to do this with both sides. Okay? Make your diagonal lines, going one way first. And now we're going to go the opposite way so that it looks like it's woven. Now, I'm not going to do this right now, but if you have your crayons or markers, what color's a basket usually? Not white, right? Sometimes, but not usually. Back then, they wouldn't have had the means to make a basket white. It's usually brown. Brown or gold, the color of the grasses that they wove it with. All right? So you might want to color your basket brown or golden brown, yellow, one of those colors. But for time's sake, I'm not going to do that. Now here comes the tricky part that I want a grown-up to help you with. We're going to put a bead of glue along this edge, not the top, because that's where our basket's going to open, along the bottom. Now I'm going to be very, very careful because I don't want to get burned. That has happened to me before, and boy, it's not fun. The glue gun is nasty if it burns you. Okay, so I put my bead of glue, I matched them up, and there they are together now. I've got to let them dry for a few minutes, but you can see that the end is open here. This is my basket, and I'm going to use that fancy word. I'm going to glean the grain, pick it up and put it in my basket. So now when this dries, you can reenact the story. And you're going to put your grain in your basket, okay? Maybe you have a brother or sister, maybe even mom would help you with reenacting our story. Or you could retell it to a friend and have them help you act it out. Wouldn't that be awesome? So remember, God has a plan for you and He loves you. See you next week.